Oh, she's wonderful. This is such a treat, because I hear she's a really great psychiatrist. We've got, no, really, that's her day job. Ellen Orchid, and she doesn't tell her real name. So if you need the Xanax and the Prozac, you have to go to her first. Okay. And she's here, and actually she's a friend of my friend Dr. Barbara Bartlick, who is one of the oh, and also Mary Lincoln, not related to Abe, I don't think. All great psychiatrists, MDs. You gotta spot them if you want to get the pills. Okay. What is wrong with you? Not even drinking. Okay. So Ellen Orchid is a psychiatrist who trained at Bellevue. That's rough. She's practiced psychiatry for over 40 years. She started doing stand-up in the 1980s and performs at the Comic Strip in Broadway Comedy Club. And she actually got to play a psychiatrist on The Sopranos, episode number 48, where she interviews Uncle Junior. He's my old friend, Dominic Chianese. That's how I met Beth Fowler. Really, I swear to God, she's one of our judges. Uncle, they were in a Woody Allen show, and I was friends with him at the Friars Club, and he actually appeared in the very first show I ever produced. One of the finest people. I'm sure we could exchange stories. He's really a great guy, and he's still performing. What is he, about 90? I think he's about 90. He's fantastic. Anyway, she did stand-up on The View in a segment called Hilarious Doctors. Hopefully they're not operating at the same time. Okay, she believes that laughter is the best medicine, but Prozac and Xanax can also help. Please welcome Ellen Orchid.
How's everybody doing? Hi up there. So, I'm a psychiatrist. How do you feel about that? Let it out, don't repress. We're here, we're sharing. Anybody here in therapy? I sure as heck am. It's helped me a lot. Anyone in therapy but ashamed to admit it? Anyone hearing so many voices, you don't know what I just said. Doing therapy in Manhattan is like selling Band-Aids at the Battle of Gettysburg. I wanted to help the mentally ill. These people were nuts. Now, there's nothing funny about mental illness, let's just be clear. That's why I need to do this. Right? And mental illness is very common. 1 in 100 people has schizophrenia. Yes, that's common. And the other 99 of us, not doing that well either. It's a stressful job. Every day I would go in and I would face incredible fear, sadness, rage. That was the staff. And the holiday time, that's the worst. Last year on Christmas Eve, I worked in the psychiatric emergency room, right? On that one shift alone, I saw 12 hypochondriacs, 11 obsessive compulsives, 10 hypermaniacs, 9 alcoholics, 8 anorexics, 5 crack whores. A patient came up to me, he goes, Doc, you gotta help me. I'm invisible. I said, I can't see you now. So, thank you. I got burnout, right? Burnout? You've heard of tennis elbow, I'm sure, right? I had shrink ear. It's rough. It's a rough business, I'll tell you. But it's a shame because it's so fascinating. Human behavior. I got inspired by reading Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, a genius. He discovered the subconscious. No one else was aware of it. you like a ton of bricks on the way home. And in Europe, they still honor this man. There's a Freud Airlines. Did you know? The plane has 2 sections, guilt and shame. And the seats are great. They go all the way back to childhood. And the plane is shaped like a penis, and the other planes envy it. Let it out, don't repress, let it out. We're here, we're sharing. Very therapeutic. But I try to relax in my spare time. You know, I love the Broadway scene. Any Broadway fans? I'm sure, this crowd, sure. I heard that Phantom of the Opera is closing. Did you hear this? Yeah. Apparently the Phantom refused to wear his mask. Let it out, let it out. Yes. These people on Broadway, these are geniuses. A few years ago, there was a show called Titanic. Right? Remember that? I ran to see that because I said, how could you possibly do a musical about a disaster like this? What songs could you possibly do? Clang, clang, clang went the light bulb. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Glug, glug, glug went my husband, 'cause he just couldn't swim too well. Or how about, do you see that iceberg? Makes you wonder, what other horrible subject are they going to make a musical about next? Melanoma, the musical. Melanoma, the most dangerous of the skin cell cancers. I had a mole. I had it removed, Mama. It wasn't benign, Papa. And 'cause it wasn't benign, the future's not fine. I don't have much time. Melanoma, the musical. Or how about eye diseases? Oh, glaucoma, I can't see a thing, my eyes are blurred. Oh, glaucoma, I can't see a thing. Where did you go? Broadway, look, the Broadway scene. You know, a lot of corporations are taking over Broadway theaters, like the American Airlines Theater, right? Do you know if the show is sold out, you can go standby. Yes. And here's a tip. You know, the tickets can be quite expensive, so don't go to the theater when you're tired. I once went that when I was tired, I took a $200 nap. I always find it amusing when you go into a Broadway theater and there's a sign in the lobby. Attention, this show contains loud noise, flashing lights, smoke effects. I'm touched that they're trying to warn us. I just came through Times Square. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's much more dangerous out there. There's drug dealers, pickpockets, tourists from Florida. Those folks are packing. Today is a special night for me because I'm here, of course, but also it happens to be the anniversary of my divorce. Yay! Freedom! Freedom! Big fan of divorce if it's necessary. As they say in Star Wars, may divorce be with you. Oh, yes. But I don't like the word divorce. How about certified pre-owned? Puts a nicer spin on it. Every year I like to celebrate the anniversary of my divorce by watching my wedding video backwards. I really recommend this. It's very therapeutic. It's an undoing, right? First you see the bouquet flying back into my hand. We take the rings off. We look at each other and say, do I? Yeah. Marriage was tough. I found it difficult. In our case, it started with a courtship, and that ship was headed right to court. So I'm single, it gets lonely sometimes. I go to the dentist just to hear a man say, open wide. You have been great. I'm Ellen.